If you're looking to get a new wrestler over by leveraging an appearance, match, or angle from a legend of the squared circle, you need to follow the 8 tips and tricks we're going over next. I'm Mike Quackenbush, and this is Till We Make It. Throughout my career, I have been very fortunate because I've worked in front of the cameras as a pro wrestler, referee, ring announcer, and commentator too. But I've also worked behind the scenes in wrestling as a promoter, booker, agent, coach, and consultant. And I've done a bunch of other jobs too. And I bring the sum total of all these experiences and I serve it up right here to you each and every week on Till We Make It. If you're down with that, then what are you waiting for? Go ahead and join the Till We Make It tribe. Subscribe right now. Or if you're in a position to help this channel continue to grow, please help me to reach my goal of 100 patrons over on Patreon this year. There's a link down below in the descriptus that will take you directly to my Patreon, where you can take a look at the different tiers of support. Starting for as little as $5 a month, you can begin unlocking more than 730 exclusive posts, overflowing with wrestling knowledge and experience. If you need to leverage an upcoming appearance, an angle, or a match by a legend of the squared circle in order to help get new talent over, this can be a tad tricky to navigate, but I've put together 8 tips and tricks to make sure you get it exactly right. Ready? Up first, you've got to answer this question. What are the quintessential elements that create a swirl of nostalgia around this legend of the squared circle? Is it their entrance theme? Maybe it's a character ritual they do in the ring, or perhaps it's only their finishing move. But whatever the quintessential elements are, you have to identify them and plan to highlight them during the performance. Because if any of them are missing, this entire endeavor is going to be less than effective. So you need to know what are the quintessential elements that create that swirl of nostalgia. And especially if this is a one-time only appearance, you need to make certain they are all present. This second one can be a little tricky, so listen carefully, because it's important that you get it right. Because wrestling is so youth-centric, we often overlook the value of experience. But you're going to have to prime everyone who is narrating this experience, like your commentary team, to highlight things about the legendary wrestler you've got coming in and never calling out the fact that they are past their prime or have seen better days. So we need to celebrate their experience in the ring over their youth. If they are moving slowly in the ring, they need to talk about how methodical or meticulous their in-ring strategy is. Nothing can be done to diminish the luster around their legend. If we take away from this figure of legendary status during their presentation, when they're supposed to be helping to get someone over, we're going to undermine our entire objective. I think a fleet of construction vehicles have just arrived outside, and I am powerless to stop this. I have seen this next one done wrong a lot lately. I want to make sure you get it right. Don't clown on a character or gimmick simply because they are from a previous era of wrestling. You need to honor this legendary figure of the squared circle, and anything less will make the people who paid to see them feel disrespected. Some people might think that it's super corny that Glacier can make snow fall from the ceiling during his entrance, and I'm here to tell you those people are wrong because it's awesome. Remember what it is that people love about this character and present it unapologetically without any snark, without any kind of meta references. If we fail to get this right, no one's gonna get over. Number 4. Don't force the legend to overstay their welcome. And I'll give you an example of this. If you are booking just one match, you have one chance to leverage this legend's status to help you get over a new wrestler Don't book them to be in the ring and expect a 30-minute classic. Design the appearance around those quintessential elements that you identified back in tip number 1. Tell a good story and then get out of there. It is much better to leave the audience wanting a little bit more than they got than to leave them feeling like, I would never pay to see that guy wrestle again. These next few tips and tricks are going to require you to be very specific, very explicit with the legend that you have booked to make sure they understand what you're trying to accomplish. And so, the legend that you're bringing in for this appearance, match, or angle has to treat the new wrestler as if they are equals. If the person of legendary status is looking down their nose at them or is otherwise patronizing toward them, it's not going to help pull them up. And that's exactly what this is supposed to accomplish. We're trying to get new talent over at a higher level. And for that to be the case, the legendary superstar that you've brought in to help has to treat them as if they are the same. And closely related to that one is this one. The legend needs to endorse the new wrestler. And you're going to have to do a little bit of legwork here too to prep the legendary wrestler to deliver, because chances are they're not all caught up on what's going on in your home promotion right now. They're popping in for one appearance and then they are out. So if you specifically want this Legend of the Ring to name drop their finishing move, the Giraffeplex 98, in a promo, you better ask for that precisely before you press record. If we refer to this up-and-coming wrestler by their nickname, the Cyborg of the Suplex, well, you better tell the legend that in advance so they can make sure to get it in. But those kinds of things, coming from a legendary superstar of wrestling, help endorse the new talent and goes a long way to achieving our goal of getting that new wrestler over. This next one is so important, you've got to get it right. In the design of the match, the legends have to allow for the new wrestler to be the focal point of the performance. Now, this does not mean that we don't feature and highlight all the quintessential elements that create nostalgia for the legend. But the focal point of the match, the climax, has to feature the new wrestler if you want them to get over in a bigger way. And more times than not, if you ask for this, the legend has no problem delivering, because they would typically rather not be involved in taking the craziest spot or the biggest bumps or the gigantic finish to a match. Number 8, you need to leave an open door for a possible future return. This is a storytelling device known as the open loop. You never close the loop in a narrative, and it might sound like this in a post-match promo or at the end of the angle. Hey, new wrestler name here. If you ever get in a jam like this again, you know how to reach me. It leaves an open door for a subsequent future appearance by this legend, showing that they're willing to stand by the new talent you're trying to get over. And just by creating that association, by giving the new talent the rub, you can help transfer some of the eyeballs that turned up just to see the legend to this new talent. Conversely, closing that door, making it 100% clear this is a one-time only appearance and we will never see this legend again, is a mistake. In doing so, you're going to lose some of the interest you just generated. Click on the video that's appearing on screen right now and you will jump into my playlist called Icons and Insights. I know you will enjoy it. And then you can keep on learning. Or follow the link appearing on screen to my Patreon page and help me on my way to achieving my goal this year of 100 patrons on Patreon. I can't do it without your help.